The New York Giants are headed to Big D for a kickoff with the first-place Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. And in advance of that trip, the team has been briefed on the Ebola virus. I'm Jim Baskell with the latest ESPN headlines. We are joined on the phone by Dan Graziano, who covers the Giants for ESPN. And Dan, of course, the Dallas area hospital had the first reported case of a patient with the Ebola virus. That patient has since passed away. What did the team briefing entail?
Well, the team doctors have been briefed on it, and then they just sort of forwarded some bullet points along to the players. I think it's an admission that, look, this is out there. Everybody's heard about it, and so there might be some concern among the players, and they wanted to make sure that the players knew that they knew that and that they could come to them with any questions. So, some basics about how it's transmitted and what the symptoms are and what to be on the lookout. Being in the Giants locker room today, I didn't detect a lot of significant concern about this, but it's definitely something people are talking about. Those of us who are going there to cover the game or at least have our antenna up about it. It's obviously a big deal in the news and a scary thing.
Yeah, a quote from Eli Manning in your story on ESPN.com. I'm not worried about myself or the team. And Prince Amukamara suggested that maybe the team's players won't necessarily have families joining them on this trip. How might this situation, though, impact what the players might do on their downtime, say, on Saturday?
Well, look, this is, as I understand it, the disease is spread through bodily fluid transmission and not through the air. And unless you're in direct contact with someone who has it, or unless you're treating someone who has it at a hospital. A couple of the patients are nurses who treated Ebola patients at hospital. I think they'll be fine. But an NFL team goes into a city on Saturday. They have meetings on Saturday night. They don't really go anywhere. They kind of hole up in a hotel, and then they bus over to a game and they fly home. So usually the NFL team doesn't really get out and about in the town anyway. The game is played in Arlington, Texas, which is a decent distance from Dallas, and they'll fly there on their own plane, on their own charter plane. So it's not as though they're going to. An NFL football team, when it goes on the road, doesn't come in contact with the general public very much. So I really don't think they have anything to fear.
Dan Graziano covers the New York Giants for ESPN. Dan, we appreciate the insight.
You got it.
Again, Giants and Cowboys from Dallas this Sunday. Big Blue, the team briefed on the Ebola virus. You can read more about this story right here on ESPN.com. With the latest ESPN headlines, I'm Jim Baskell.